Hello, everybody. Welcome to Political Football. My name is Dave. I'm here with Clev, and we are happy and honored to be joined by the president of Matty Ice Media, Mr. Matty Ice himself.
I was wondering where you're going with that because I don't look orange enough to be the president.
Well, no, I would never accuse you.
Thank you.
Of anything so salacious.
I appreciate that. I was like, whoa, the president, stop it. I don't need that in my life.
Yes, no, I would never accuse somebody of being both R. Kelly and having an IQ of 40. Like, that's a real hard thing to pull off, but somehow he's managed.
All right, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Happy to be here, though.
Yeah, so welcome. So tonight, everybody, we are going to be doing our previews of the AFC and NFC East, which is why I do like to get Matty Ice in for the show because he is a fan of the New England Patriots.
I do have to interrupt you for a minute. Yes. I think it's very important that everybody knows I have seen zero football news this offseason, so my previews are going to be as spot on as they've ever been.
Okay, well, this is actually excellent because Cleve basically knows what we went over last week.
So I do my best work.
Yeah, so this will be very good here. So we're going to get right into it here so we can try to be out of here in about an hour and 15. So we are going to start with, I believe, the AFC East. Yes, and I have the Miami Dolphins. Now, look, I don't want any comments about the slides, especially about how they're being presented here. And let me tell you why. Did make him point out that I should make a slideshow out of these and it'd be easy to present? Yes, she did. And yes, that would have been a lot better of an idea. However, this idea came at 7:21. And we went live 10 minutes later. So this other going to be this week. Next week, I will make a slideshow for these so they like fill up the screen more and they're better. And I think I'll open them in Firefox so I can adjust it more because for some reason Chrome won't let me adjust it. So this is what we're going to be working with right now. And yes, I did use ChatGPT to make these. Using ChatGPT to make these was an adventure because it wanted to mix all sorts of bad information and then I do the style correctly, but it was still faster and better than I could have done. So as I go through this process, it'll get even better. But we are going to start here with the Miami Dolphins, the team I have finishing in fourth place in the AFC East. So as we see last year, they finished 8-9, missed the playoffs. Head coach and OC is Mike McDaniel. DC is Anthony Weaver. Key departures, Jalen Ramsey is gone. He was traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They did get Minka Fitzpatrick back in return. And then draft picks, honestly, I like their pick number 13, Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle out of Michigan. Beyond that, I wasn't super impressed with their draft. I do think that Scott did like their second round guy, the guard out of Arizona, Jonah Savaianiea, which I think I added one extra.
Wow.
There. So first of all, Cleve, what do you think of me having the Patriots finishing in fourth place here in the AFC East?
The
Dolphins. Excuse me.
I mean, yeah. I was gonna say. I was like, yeah. So first things first. Jalen Ramsey, I can't believe he's still in the league. Like he's still getting the job. How old is he? Like, it's just he feels like he's been decent
last year. He wasn't awful, was he?
No, Jalen Ramsey is good.
He's fine.
I know he's probably a Hall of Famer. I'm not anything against his skill set. I'm just saying, like, it feels like he's been in the league for like 20 years. It just feels like he's all the teams that he goes to, like he's just been around for so long. That's why I said that. It's like one of those guys that when he go to Canton, like, which jersey are you gonna like go in with, right? Which team that you're gonna rep? Yeah, if last week serves my memory correctly, I wasn't high on them at all. I don't think they're going anywhere, and I think we might have agreed that Mike McDaniel might get fired this year. So, if I'm not mistaken,
that's not a hot take, is it? Like, I feel like this is a make or break year for him and them because
he has to do something this year. Like,
well, right. Like, I think is he reaching the point of it's cute when you're quirky until you start losing all the time?
Facts.
I think that his.
I was asking a question, not making a statement, by the way.
But why not both? Okay. I think that I think McDaniel's offense is a very serious offense.
Yes.
And I think that teams would do well trying to copy it. I think he's got the right personnel for his offense. There are some other big issues that that they have, and it's not listed on here, even though I really think that it should have been. And I think I asked for it to be, but hey, this is what happens when you rely too much on AI. Be a lesson to all the students out there. Matt, we covered this last week on the show, but I want to see if you know the answer to this. Let's say, if you remember last year, Tua got hurt. They lost like 7 straight games because they tried to go out like White Mike and a bunch of other losers, right, to be the quarterback. If Tua gets hurt this year, who is the backup? Who did the Dolphins, knowing they had this major hole, this major issue, go out and sign?
Oh, shit. Oh, it's like right there too. Like I can see that son of a bitch's face, but I just can't put the name out there on it. Who is it?
It is Zach Wilson.
Damn it. I was thinking of that too.
I was gonna say, oh, Zachy boy.
That's that's the kind of face that I had in my mind when you asked me who the backup is. Yep.
Right. So Zach Wilson is the backup for the Dolphins. And now to me, that's the sort of thing that lets me know that this franchise remains sort of deeply unserious. And I think that this is too unserious of a franchise to deserve somebody like Mike McDaniel, which is why he's going to fail there. If you remember, before McDaniel was hired, they had all this stuff with the other coach and Stephen Ross and tampering with Tom Brady and all this. I don't see things going well for this team this year. Tyreek Hill's in camp complaining about Devon Achane's third down usage last year. And I think that the wheels are going to fall off this team. And I actually think that the Dolphins, I think Mike McDaniel's the first coach fired this year.
I thought for the longest time that I thought that the Dolphins were unserious because I was biased by watching the Patriots beat them all the time. And that was kind of skewing like my view of them as a franchise, but I don't think that I was wrong. I think that as a franchise, I've always felt that they have been unserious. And I was just talking about this with somebody about the fact that like they had this unprecedented run so long ago, but nobody thinks of them as winners because they've virtually been unserious for what, 30 plus years now?
At least since Marino left in 99.
Yeah, I mean, and you could kind of sort of make the argument that they were somewhat unserious when they had him and didn't win anything of consequence.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you, Dave. Like, I have been down on the Dolphins just about every year, knowing that they had talent and the personnel and all that stuff, but there was something about the team, the franchise, that just didn't click. And I feel like with everything that they've had, with McDaniel, obviously things work when the personnel's out there, but there's just something that's not there. And I think it is a curse of the franchise.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now we have a comment here from Patriots 12. I think 12 refers to the age of Bill Belichick's girlfriend. Jets are the worst team. That's unfair. Jordan Hudson has at least double that, I think. Jets are the worst team ever beyond Rodgers, Namath, and Vito. They have 0 QBs in 80 years. Okay.
Rodgers? I mean, like that's like kind of a loose association, isn't it?
Yeah, so here's
Sanchez
the thing.
had a better run.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think
Testaverde?
I think that clowning the Jets for everything, like basically since the butt fumble, makes sense. Like since 2010, the Jets are one of the worst franchises and teams in the league.
I agree.
But if we're going to talk over the last 80 years, I really don't think that the Patriots, like this century, like since 2000, the Patriots are cream of the crop, top of top or whatever. But from like whenever the Patriots were invented,
right,
and the Jets were invented until 2000, like this is not a conversation.
This is why I always claim that I'm allowed to love the success that they had because I was born and remembered how ass they were. Yes. And my father, even more so, as obsessed as he is with this team in Boston and all that shit, he witnessed how awful they were. And it was a reward for him to watch them win one. I think he would have been satisfied. We all would have been satisfied with one. The run that we got, nobody would have ever saw it coming. But I watched how ass they were in the beautiful Pat the Patriot uniforms that everybody loves now, but they were awful back then.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Like, if the Lions won 4 Super Bowls in the next 9 years, people would be super excited for Detroit and for the fans because like, who would ever think this? That's what the Patriots were. Yes. Before this happened.
Yes, I agree with you. I'm not there.
So on the one hand, if we want to just keep it to like the Tom Brady era, Patriots fans can talk all the mess they want, but I don't think we should be going back to the Joe Namath era to try to say anything about the Jets, because the Jets got it. The Jets got you. So, and the Patriots, they go to a couple Super Bowls and they got smoked by the Bears, got smoked by the Packers.
Yep.
So sure, you have that, I guess. But, I'm down for talking bad about the Jets since the Obama first midterms.
This is a longer conversation that I don't want to use up your time here for, but the idea of these franchises that are sort of grandfathered in, for lack of a better term, on the standard is the standard type thing, where it's like you expect them to win. But if you really break it down, and I'll take the Steelers for a good example. If you take out that run that they had in the 70s, they've won 2 in the last 50 years. They're just like everybody else. You know what I mean? And the Patriots are in that same exact category. We're going to be talking about them in the same way, probably. And there's so many franchises, there's so few, that the standard has been the standard and kind of remains what it is for a long period of time, where you've kind of expected them to always be good. But a vast majority of franchises had a blip, maybe, but that's it. And that's kind of how it's supposed to go. I think you said one time, Dave, that if everything was equal, every team would win the Super Bowl once every 32 years.
That's right.
So, yeah, anyway, that's a longer conversation about franchises that have deserved that crown.
Yeah, and I just wanted to feature a Patriots 12 comment there, because, again, I think Patriots can talk all the mess they want for the 2000s. Anything before that, though, you're basically the Lions with less exciting players.
Is there a statute on when you had to be born in order to be able to talk that shit? Like, if you were born 12 years ago or whatever, do you get to talk shit about the Patriots, or do you have to have seen them before?
As long as you are a Patriots fan, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Because you can't really control that.
I need to know who I can hate in Boston. That's what I really want to know.
Yeah. So my rule is, as long as you come by your fandom honestly, you didn't just switch them because they were winning or whatever. Even if you're only 12 years old now, hey, that's how it goes.
Great.
Okay, so we generally think the Dolphins could have the wheels fall off this year here. So we're going to move to the team I finishing in third place in the AFC East. Matty Ice, what team do I have finishing in third place?
The Patriots, I hope.
It is the New York Jets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if I can scroll correctly here. So, to be honest, this is a case to where I could see this flipping either direction. I will not be shocked if the Jets finish second. I will not be shocked if the Patriots finish second. I will be shocked if either makes the playoffs.
I was going to ask. So what I'm hearing is this division is ass, and there's the Bills.
Yes, but I think that, if we look at the Jets' record here, they were 5-12 last year. They could finish third in this division at 8-9.
With one of the best quarterbacks in their franchise history, by the way, according to...
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, of course.
Certainly one of the most athletic. So
I'll give you that.
Yeah, so I think that the Jets will be much better this year. I think it'll be much better coach this year. I think they'll much better quarterback play this year. I just think that the Patriots are going to be slightly better and have a slightly easier schedule. So that's why I have the Patriots finishing higher. But in real spirit, I have them tied for third with nobody in second, because I don't think either really compete for the playoffs. But we do have a Jets fan here on the show. Clev, please go ahead and tell me what you think of your new look Jets, Justin Fields, Aaron Glenn, what you're hearing out of camp, your thoughts, all of it.
So obviously I'm in these Jets forums this time of year, kind of getting back to the pulse of things and getting the temperature. Oh yeah, well it's Matty Ice always explains how the fandom is where he's from. The fandom in the Northeast is ridiculous for the Jets and the Giants. It's delusional mixed with cocaine or whatever. But yeah, I'm excited, but again, I don't I always give us 7 wins, 8 wins ish. Excited about the quarterback situation, a little younger, athletic again, as you guys mentioned. But they're not going to be world beaters. They're not going to beat they're not going to beat out the Bills. The Patriots, I think they're going to split with, but I think we're going to beat the Fins when that comes down. But yeah, I'm good head coach. I was actually playing some classic Madden the other day, and playing with Aaron Glenn as a player was crazy. Pause. But yeah, I'm just excited to see what we're gonna do. Preseason is happening right now. I'm not a big preseason guy. I used to be until I met you, the two of you guys, and really Matty Ice kind of just threw cold water all over like the preseason.
Don't blame
like,
me for that, man.
Shit? Because it's like I just like now. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, picking up on what you said right there, I think that it is important to note when we first met, you talked about the preseason as if it carried as much weight as the regular season, postseason, and all that, as far as like what you could glean. And the truth is that it doesn't. Most of the stuff in the preseason is useless information that can't help you at all, but not always.
Yep.
Every so often, there is something out there that's important to note that we see developing over the course of camp. Examples we'll get to later this here on the show is with the Commanders running back situation. Like if there's not always, it's not always empty calories, so you want to pay attention to it, but you can't like put so much belief and emphasis on everything that comes out during the preseason, depth charts, snap counts, all that, because so much of it is actual nonsense. You have to really parse in between. It's like if Lucky Charms only came with 4 marshmallows per box. You really got to get in there and search to find the goodness.
Are you telling me that I shouldn't take depth charts that have 2 quarterbacks listed as the starting quarterback seriously? I mean, I'm asking for a friend.
A couple people who do fantasy stuff now, but used to like intern and have lower level positions within real organizations, say that they used to be the ones that did the preseason depth charts to put them up for the media. So,
I think we should probably make the distinction, though, that the preseason is incredibly important for the coaching staffs. It's just not as important to us viewers as we're watching the product on the field.
Right, because they're not going to give us the information that we really want.
Right.
You got muted there, Dave.
Yeah, that was weird.
He's getting there.
Yeah, they have the information we want. They're just not going to share it. Right, which is why you have to like sort of parse what they say and what they're doing and what you see and all that to really find something useful. Like for example, for the Jets, Josh Reynolds is a wide receiver 2 for the Jets. I don't know if that's great news, but it's definitely the case based on everything that we've seen so far out of camp. That is something that we can sort of bank on, right? They're saying that Davis could be threatening Braylon Allen for the number 2 spot. Garbage. Doesn't mean anything. Right, you just get in there and really know the difference there. So I agree with you, Cleve, that you're right that now to come around to the fact that preseason doesn't matter, but it's that the stuff that matters a lot. You just got to look really hard to find it.
I also want to make a point. My point was that it's a time management thing. It has nothing to do with like not loving football. It's like I don't have a lot of time, so I'm not going to waste it watching a game where 99% of it just does not matter for me.
I mean, you're talking to the guy that used to go to some of those games. I used to go.
Look, we've all had a degenerate era at some point in our lives. Okay.
Cleve, if I paid American dollars to go to a preseason Detroit Lions game, you cannot waterboard that information out of me.
So here's the thing. The tickets weren't the.
Don't back out of it now.
Like dirt cheap. No. I'm defending my position. So the tickets were dirt cheap, but they charged everything else regular price: parking, beers, food. Same, like $50 for parking for a preseason game was criminal.
Yeah,
but it just felt like football was back. Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. If all you can afford ticket wise is go to preseason games, or you're taking like little kids who don't even care about the difference, they're just excited to be in the stadium, whatever, then yes, that's fine. Like I'm not judging. Like I'm not saying nobody should ever go to preseason games. It's never a good reason or whatever. But that's not sort of the indication you gave. You gave like, hey, let's go watch the Jets. And that's sort of what I was judging. Yeah.
By the way, I'm not having James slander my name by telling his friends that I took him to a preseason football game. Like that shit ain't happening.
I used to be that guy till I met you guys, and you guys broke all my toys in front of me. I was like, "Go home, kid. Go home."
Paul and I used to have Lions season tickets when they were dirt cheap after the Lions went 0-16. He's pointing out that we paid for the preseason tickets as well as the regular season tickets because all come in one bundle.
Sure.
And that's true. We paid for them. Sure. But really what you're paying for with the preseason tickets as a season ticket holder is the right to bid first on playoff tickets and away game tickets, so Super Bowl tickets, right?
Yeah. You're talking about going and saying, hey, you know what, hon? I really would love to go to the preseason Lions game today.
All right, guys. I get it.
Yeah. So
those are degenerate.
So I suppose I have paid for preseason games before because they're part of the season ticket bundle, but that's it. Anyways, Cleve, I don't know what number you need to call for help in this case.
Wow.
Yeah, don't be from DC. Drop to the Meadowlands for a preseason game.
Oh no, those days are before I moved here.
And that's our New York Jets preview. Okay,
as professional as it gets.
Absolutely. So of course, then the next place team we have here, the New England Patriots. Now, the New England. Oh, okay. I'm on the clock and a lot of drafts I have to do while we're doing the show. This is going to be fun.
It's great.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Great time management with me today. I drove back from New Jersey today, by the way. So, it was very Jersey-ish as always. The New England Patriots.
Get subs?
No subs. Got a crab melt. And we were in South Jersey. We went to Cape May, so we're in South Jersey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Different part of the state.
Yep. The Patriots, I think, are going to make a big bounce back, and I want to hear your thoughts here, Matt, on this. I think that Mike Vrabel is sort of like Mike Tomlin in that you get 6 wins just because he's on the sideline.
Yes.
And
yes. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Mm-mm. And so with just that there, I think that's a pretty solid floor. I think that Drake May entering his second year, Vrabel knew that he was going to be the quarterback there when he took the job, which means that he kind of like already pre-approved of him, which is a great time for Drake May, who showed quite a bit last year.
I thought so.
I also think that the wide receiver core is greatly improved by adding Stephon Diggs. Now he's coming off an ACL and he's going to be 31, but he clearly seems like the camp videos. He seems running like normal. So I think he's going to be healthy. They drafted Kyle Williams in the second round or third round. The defense, they signed Milton Williams away from the Eagles. And obviously having Vrabel as a coach is a huge upgrade there. I just feel like that is a huge upgrade there, and that's why I think they can pass or tie with the Jets this year.
Well, they're on an actual plan now because the Gerard Mayo experiment, now that we've seen it all play out, it felt like it was never really part of the plan. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. It is what it is, but it feels very much like, okay, this is the trajectory that they want to be on. It's just like when you start over, you get the guy that you want, you get the quarterback that you want, and you start building around that. One good thing that came from last year is that Drake May did show flashes, and he did improve in a lot of ways when people kind of felt like maybe there wasn't as much of a ceiling there. And now you're bringing in a guy in Vrabel who, like you said, and when you compare him to Tomlin, right? Tomlin seems to have fallen into this place where he's the losing the first round guy, but you're never going to have a losing record guy, which is solid to have. And then I think McDaniels, I know a lot of people kind of laughed at that, but I mean, he's obviously got an eye for offense, and you have a dynamic guy at quarterback. You're bringing in some receivers. So they're trying to build this team. And I felt like coming into this season, they should be improved. And they should be one of those teams that if you're vying for a playoff spot late in the season, you probably don't want to play them because they will be improved. You probably don't walk over them. And that's kind of where they should be in this trajectory. And I think that while this division is certainly not in play for them, finishing with 7 or 8 wins to me would be a vast improvement from last year and on the road to where you want to be as a franchise.
Yeah, I completely agree with all that, and I think that they are going to take another step forward this year. Cleve, if the Patriots sweep the Jets this year, what are you going to do?
I mean, it'll be on brand for the most part, but just as I like to say with any team in any division, whoever the quarterback is makes or breaks it for the most part. So obviously, without process of elimination here, we have the Bills as the number one in the division. But if they lose Josh, then it's wide open. And I think that if Josh was to go down, I'm not wishing any ill will on anyone, I think the Pats would actually rise to the top. Did you guys even see Vrabel getting a scrum today? Did you see him get bloody?
Yeah,
did you guys see that?
I think it was yesterday. Yeah. Well, no, he got in the middle of the scrum, took a stray, I think, and then was like, "Yeah, it's fine."
Took a stray, yeah. Kind of a bloody towel. It's awesome.
The only thing I will say,
he does drills with them.
Yeah, he does. Well, so the only thing I will say is Vrabel is the kind of personality, kind of like Harbaugh, where like he grates on people after a while, but he's in a franchise that he played for and more importantly won for. And the owner was also the owner back then. Now, Bob Kraft is like 98 years old, so who knows if he'll still be the owner by the time like this whole experiment is done with. But I'll be interested to see if Vrabel's coaching style and his general demeanor, if they don't get to where they want to, if it starts to grate on the team. But that's like a few years from now thing, not a this year thing. Like this year, hopefully there should be a lot of improvements and therefore expectations are on the lowish end. Like if Bob Kraft is thinking this team is a Super Bowl contender, then hey, he's probably senile and needs the kind of help that Clev needed when he was going to preseason games. But the thing is like it'll be interesting just to see like how Mike Vrabel wears with the franchise over time. But if they're winning, it won't matter. But we saw in Tennessee that he was winning and then he kind of started to grate on people, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that happened at the end. So that's the only thing long term that I'll be interested to watch with him.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Vrabel is ever going to be the best coach in the world, but I think he's a perfect coach for exactly what you guys need right in this moment. Just come in, steady the ship, get everything set up, get everything right, and then maybe you guys are able to hire, or maybe Drake May is just going to be him, and then it doesn't matter who the coach is, and you guys just be set with a good culture that Vrabel is able to set.
Dave, are you still terrified that Mike Vrabel is going to end up the coach at Ohio State at some point?
Yes.
You know what I mean, though? Like, because he will be there and be great there, and it'll just be like shit every year.
Yes. And I thought that there was a real possibility of that happening this year when Ryan Day lost to Michigan.
Oh, yes.
I was like, oh my God, if they bomb out of the playoffs, if they fire Ryan Day, Mike Vrabel's just sitting there, just ready to go. And I was not going to be excited for that. But then they went and won a asterisk national championship. And and again, I want to be very clear. Their national championship is very valid. They're the national champions. And they were the best team last year. They deserved to win the national championship, but they didn't beat Michigan, which makes our championship the year before better. Okay.
That's a rivalry asterisk, by the way. Like the championship is legit, but they didn't beat your team, who they should beat every year if you're going to win anything. I'm making the point for you, Dave. I totally am on board with what you're saying.
They lost at home as a 20-point favorite to a walk-on quarterback. And don't forget that in that game, Colston Loveland and Will Johnson were both out.
Colston Loveland, is that the Secretary of Commerce? Kind of sounds like it.
No, that's Hulk Hogan.
Okay, that's right.
And if you say, oh no, he's dead, the Secretary of Commerce this point with these tariffs, like, man,
too soon.
It's never too soon for the Hulkster,
brother.
Okay, brother. And so that means that, of course, as Cleve said, by default, the number one team here is the Buffalo Bills. Now, why is the background here green? Because ChatGPT would not give me the design that I wanted, so that's what we ended up with.
That, or they're making fun of the fact that there's no dome in Buffalo's new stadium.
Yes, that very well could be the case too. Buffalo, again, Josh Allen, amazing. Defenses have to reload a little bit. The receiver core is still basically Khalil Shakir, who just got another high ankle sprain on the same ankle, just happened in camp. Dalton Kincaid, who for some reason was a first-round pick, and then the three of us. So the question becomes, again, is Josh Allen and his merry band of misfits enough to beat Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes and all the other teams in the AFC East that have good coaching and all of that? Cleve, do you think that Josh Allen and this sort of like ragtag group of people is good enough to do that, or are they just going to win this division and get bounced in the playoffs at some point once again?
The latter of what you just said. I mean, I'm convinced. I mean, he's a great quarterback. Like he MVP last year, all that good stuff. But I just look at talent wise, the receiver core. I think we talked about this at some point, but not too. I mean, by default, given the past history of the other three teams in the division, that's why they're going to win out. Plus, they're good. They're good, but I don't know any. Like, I can't name who their number one receiver is. I don't know. I know who the running back is. I know who the quarterback is, but I don't know the other talent on the field around them. And I'm looking at your key additions, and I'm like, Joey Bosa, really? So I don't know.
Yeah, so they added Joey Bosa, which is huge for them. Sorry, I'm multitasking here while we do the show. They added Joey Bosa, which is huge because they need help on defense. The thing is that the receiver core is like Khalil Shakir, Curtis Samuel. They added Joshua Palmer from the Chargers. James Cook is currently holding out, so he's not even in camp right now. So, like, wow. Yeah, and the backup for him is Ray Davis, who's like a 39-year-old second-year running back out of Kentucky. So, yeah, so I'm just not convinced that, like, that they have enough to really overcome once they hit the playoffs. There's no doubt they're going to be good again. There's no doubt they're going to challenge again for a Super Bowl. But I just, like, if they have to go to the playoffs, they're going to have to beat probably Chiefs, Ravens back to back in some order, in some stadium. I just don't see this being the squad that can do that necessarily.
A couple things.
I agree.
If the three of us were on the depth chart, Josh Allen is so good that each of us would get 30 targets, even though we wouldn't move off the line of scrimmage probably at all. So there's that. But this Bills team, like the way that it is last year, this year, it kind of feels like the in-between years where the Patriots were off the three Super Bowls before they got Randy Moss, right? There was those few years there where they were good. Brady was good, but they didn't have the talent to, like, get over the hump. And then they went out and got Randy Moss, and it, like, changed everything. It changed everything about that. And I feel like the Bills are in that position now where Josh Allen is elite. We know that. It's unequivocal. Statistically, the eye test, it passes it all. But they don't have the guy on offense outside of him, if that makes sense. Like, they have a bunch of people that Josh Allen could get the ball to, but when it comes down to playing the best of the best in the AFC, the quarterback play is like negligibly better or worse if it's Mahomes versus Allen or Lamar versus Allen. Like, they're all kind of in that same place. And then it comes down to the other players. And I feel like the Bills have enough talent to be good in the regular season, but in the postseason, something is missing. Like, they're missing that guy. And I wonder if they're going to have to do that in order to get to the next place that they would like to go. Then they'll probably win the Super Bowl now that I've said that.
I mean, the thing, they certainly could. Like, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes has won the Super Bowl with some dog shit
100%
players around him, right? But even then, he at least had, like, an aging Travis Kelce. Yeah. And Kadarius Toney was almost MVP of that Super Bowl. He was 10 yards on punt return away. Like,
yeah, that would have been sick.
And the game-winning play was made by Juju Smith-Schuster.
I feel like if Kadarius Toney had won MVP in that Super Bowl, he would have pulled up the clip from the draft in which the Giants took Kadarius Toney and Dave lost his mind and has been dying on that hill ever since.
One of my better takes. I'm not gonna lie.
It was, but then he almost brushed that touchdown in the Super Bowl, and you're like, the fuck?
They just won't say like Desmond Howard was the 4th overall pick in 1992 by the Washington football team, and was a total bust in every possible way, and then was Super Bowl MVP for the Packers in 97. That's right. It's like, well, good pick, I guess. Clev, Kadarius Toney is out of football now. He now has another profession that, believe it or not, he is not bad at. What is that profession?
Don't tell me he's a UFC fighter or some shit like that.
He is not. He's way too scrawny for that. What's the other option?
Is he a professional golfer on the?
No,
on the,
hint.
on the
I asked you and not Matt because Matt probably doesn't want to guess and be wrong. Because it'd be kind of racist if it's wrong.
Wow. Okay. Now
I can't even think of a racist answer for this.
But the answer isn't racist. It's just racist if it's wrong. He is a rapper.
Oh, I never would have guessed that.
Yes. So
yeah, that was.
So you can imagine
my bingo card.
Yeah, you can imagine if I was like, "Hey, Matt, what's Kadarius Toney doing now?" Matt was like a rapper. I'm like, "No, he's actually the CEO of State Farm." Like, that could make Matt look really bad. So
I would have said the CEO of State Farm probably 10 guesses before I said rapper.
No one thinks rapper here.
Never. Like you could have asked me that 10 times and I would have not said rapper any of those times. Like that was so far out of what I thought it was. I was thinking like, is he like, because he has a bunch of piercings. I'm like, is he that guy? I have no idea.
I was gonna go surfer after that, but I was like golf or MMA. I even gave him MMA of all. I gave him that. Rapper? No, my bingo card.
Okay.
This is the wolf pack, bro.
Yeah, he's not half bad. He's not great, but he's not half bad. I'll give you this. He's a better rapper than NFL wide receiver. I would draft him in fantasy rap before I would draft him in fantasy football.
Wow.
Can you guys actually hear me?
We can hear you, but your video is frozen.
We can hear you.
All right, that's fine as long as you can hear me.
Yeah.
And you're frozen like this.
It's great. I know. I can see it. On the screen. It's wonderful.
Okay, you can.
I'm making a great take. Whatever. No, I'm making a wonderful take.
Okay, give me 1 second here, you guys. We're about to move the AFC East. I'm setting up the Alex signal to see if he's out there. Because I feel bad talking about the Giants and not having Alex around to defend his team's honor, such that would have been. Paul says he would have guessed pro wrestler for Kadarius Toney, which he does have the flair for it, which is why I think rap is a good career move as well. Like don't get me wrong, the dude's not going to be Busta Rhymes, but he can, you
got me wanting to listen to something. This is crazy.
I've totally seen Busta Rhymes live, by the way.
And how was that?
Interesting. I was on a show with the Foo Fighters, Primus, and Kid Rock. Yeah, it was something else.
What a lineup!
Yeah. It was interesting. The 90s were interesting, fellas. What can I say?
Yeah, that is So the Foo Fighters are amazing, and they should play the Super Bowl soon, in my opinion.
This was like 1999, so this was like really early Foo Fighters.
And it's before Kid Rock went full Rudy Giuliani crazy. So
yes, the shots keep coming.
Okay, perfect. The Alex signal was out, so we're gonna move on to the NFCs. No, the shots are what Kid Rock fired at the Busch Light cans because he's insane. And that does hold my theory that basically in Detroit, everybody except Devin Booker is out of their mind. Like, wow, really just from Michigan. Like,
who drinks that?
Everybody from Michigan is crazy except for Devin Booker somehow. He's like the only normal person. Draymond Green, crazy. And Ndamukong Suh comes to Detroit, becomes crazy. I'm not like violently crazy, but I'm somewhat crazy. Paul is nuts. Like, don't let him try to fool you. Like everybody is either weird or crazy in Michigan except for Devin Booker. Kid Rock, nuts. Eminem is us. Aretha Franklin, rest in peace, amazing talent, out of her mind. Like everybody in Michigan is crazy. That's my take about my home state. Alex is saying that Devin Booker is crazy. I don't think Devin Booker's crazy. I've never seen, except for the fact he didn't go to Michigan. He went to Kentucky, but that's for money. Paul saying that Kid Rock has always been crazy, rich kid with car dealership money. No, he's always been a phony. He's always been playing a character. But much like how country music went from like Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings being like hitting the police to like now they love the police, Kid Rock went from like cowboy and American badass to I'm shooting beer cans because I'm not woke. Like that's a whole different trajectory. By the way, Eminem did introduce Barack Obama at a Kamala Harris rally because Eminem actually does understand the First Amendment and actually is an artist and knows what the First Amendment means for artists, which is why he was speaking for Kamala Harris and not like, oh, comedy's back now because Trump can talk locker room talk in office or whatever. Anyways, the New York Giants. As we try to get Matt's picture back here.
I'm still here. Don't you worry about it.
Okay, you are still there. Okay, good.
Oh, I am.
So the New York Giants are the team I have here finishing in 4th place in the NFC East. Couple points I want to make right off the top. I think the New York Giants will be a much better team this year than they were last year. And I think their record could be the same. Their schedule is horrible. They got the absolute possible draw. They have to play the NFC North and AFC West, the 2 deepest and best divisions of football, as the cross-division rivals. A lot of their easier opponents, they catch on the road, like New England and the Saints. They get on the road, not at the Meadowlands. I think the Giants could be a 6-win team that wins 3 games and is picking first next year, which is why I have the New York Giants now on the clock as my team name. Everybody's going to get fired after the season, maybe even during the season. GM, everybody. And I think it's really unfair to Brian Daboll. I think Brian Daboll is a really good coach, and I think wherever he lands as an OC next is going to be very, very lucky to have him. Might even be back in Buffalo. But I think that he's a very good coach, and he's going to get the short end of Joe Shane failing at his very difficult task, which is digging out from the Joe Judge, Dave Gettleman.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, like they had a very difficult task. They weren't able to execute it, and they all should have been fired this past offseason. But they weren't. It's like a lame duck year for them, and it's just not going to come off for them. I'll give the upside here for Alex, our resident Giant slappy. He thinks that Russ is a much better quarterback than Daniel Jones, and that he's going to be able to steady the ship and provide enough consistency to go along with this very good front 7 that they do have. This very good front 7. And get the ball to Malik Neighbors enough to get them to their 6-7 wins, which is all they need for everybody to keep their job. Because everybody knows that this is going to be a struggle year and that they're setting up the big jump for next year.
Giants country, let's ride.
Yeah. So Russ is cooked.
I was hoping for that.
Russ is cooked. The Giants cut him loose to sign a 41-year-old conspiracy theorist to be the quarterback instead. Right? And it's like the Steelers. It's like the Steelers today. It's like the Steelers are a clown show organization with a bad coach. Russ will not be the starter for this team after like week 6. They're going to go to Jackson Dart. I'm not high on Jackson Dart as a prospect. Neither was the league really. That's why he went in the 20s and not in the early first round. I went back and pulled offline all the quarterbacks who went like after pick 10, but in the first round since 2015. Jordan Love is like the only real hit, not counting Lamar Jackson, who went that late because of racism. Like, I don't think anybody thinks that Jackson Dart is Lamar Jackson anyways. The odds of Jackson Dart being good enough right away, welcome back, Matty Ice.
Hello.
Being good enough right away to save everybody's jobs this year are low. It's not impossible. If he's as good as Jordan Love, he can do it. But it's low. It's just not going to work for them. Their own division is full of 3 obviously much better teams. Clearly much more talented teams. And then they draw the NFC North, which means they have to play the Bears, Packers, Lions, and Vikings, and the AFC West, the Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, and Raiders. If they go 2-6 in those games, they'll be lucky. If they go 2-4 against their own division, they're going to be lucky. And that still only gets them to 4 wins. They just have such an uphill battle that I think they're going to actually make a leap as a team and be way better and finish with the same record and pick first or second in the draft. Matty Ice, your thoughts?
This quarterback room is terrific. Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston in the same room. This is terrific. I mean, I'm here for this.
You think Jameis is joining Russ and Sierra at Bible study?
Absolutely. And Russ is going to be eating W's by the time the season's over. You watch. They're going to be so friendly with each other. But to be serious about the Giants, this is one of those situations where it's like a quarterback where the stats go down, but like visually, they got better. You know what I mean? And I think this team is going to be where it's like the record is not going to tell you that they're better, but you're going to see them look better. They're not going to be a laughing stock, right? Because like they were bad and boring and we were laughing at them. Now it's like, okay, now they have a serious situation. Yes, Dayball is probably going to get fired if they're bad because he's unfortunately been there a little bit too long to survive another bad season. But they're not taking the season unseriously, if that makes sense. So like, yeah, we're not going to be laughing at them every week, but they're not going to be good either. They're on the way.
Cleve.
Yeah.
So
I share. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you. You're not a huge fan of pretty much anybody involved with the Giants now, except for maybe Malik Neighbors. I will say their front seven is good. Alex's point they play a lot of bad OLs is true, but even in context, like yes, the Saints OL is garbage. The game still is in New Orleans. Like will the Giants be favored in that game? No, and if so, it's gonna be like about 1.5, right? Like it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough go for the Giants this year. How many wins do the Giants need to save everybody's job, Cleve?
I think what you said. I think they need about 7 or 8 wins to get in that safety zone. And judging from what you and Matty Ice said, which I agree with, it's going to be over the course of the season. They're not going to get them all in the beginning. It's going to have to be. It might even come down to like one game left in the season where they're gonna need it. This is the game that we're going to be texting each other like, "Hey, they lose here, he's done." He being Dayball.
Yes, and the thing too is again, I think that this whole experience has been kind of unfair for Dayball. And if whenever he gets another head coaching opportunity in the NFL, I'm going to be excited for that hire. Unless it's like Green Bay or a team I don't want to see. But like
you guys,
go ahead, Cleve.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Do you guys think the Saquon trade, like if Saquon had stayed, do you think they would have fared better, or it just had to happen in history the way it happened? Like life happens the way it's supposed to happen.
They made the wrong bets in the wrong order as it came to Danny Dimes, Saquon Barkley, and their top 6 pick last year. 5 pick, whatever the first round pick was last year. They picked 6th, I think. They needed to franchise Saquon, let Dimes walk, and draft JJ McCarthy last year and not Neighbors. By extending Dimes and letting Saquon walk, and drafting Neighbors, they put the entire future on Dimes turning it around with his new offensive wide receiver weapon, but no running game to help him.
Yeah. Yep.
A reasonable thing to it's not a horrible strategy, right? Some of this is hindsight bias. It's not a horrible strategy. And I'm not the running back guy. I would not be like, oh, you should extend the running back or whatever instead. But if you had Saquon, JJ, and sign free agent wide receiver, whoever, instead, you're probably looking a bit better coming into this season where you would have used your high pick you had again this year on McMillan or Travis Hunter or somebody as the receiver. Yeah. So some of it is hindsight, but I think even at the time, given how much they invested in Saquon as a 2nd overall pick, even though it wasn't their administration that did it, that still would have been the right thing to do.
No, I mean, he was the offense. Like he was the offense.
Alex says here that the owner made the call for Dimes over Saquon. That's why Shane and Dayball get another year. And the Pulse says that assumes that Mara knows and cares and is self-aware. So the thing is, I don't disagree with the fact that the owner said we're keeping the quarterback and not the running back for whatever reason, right? And if I could fire the owner, I would, right? Because he is responsible, I think, for a lot of this situation just in general, because he hired Dave Gettleman and Joe Judge in the first place, right? He's the through line for all of this. It's not going to work. Like what they've done is not going to work. Everything is now stacked against them. They're not going to pull it off. I mean, if Jackson Dart is Justin Herbert or CJ Stroud or Jaden Daniels, if Jackson Dart is the offensive rookie of the year this year, they can get to like 9 wins and everybody can keep their jobs. He was the 25th pick. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Like 6%. It's a 3 out around the river. It's filling it inside straight. I'll give you 7%, but it's not going to hit. And everybody's getting fired, even though the team will be better. The good news for the Giants, we'll move on to the next team here. The good news for the Giants is that I think everybody will realize that they're a decent kind of up-and-coming roster, a quarterback short with Malik Neighbors and a good front 7, and they will actually get their pick. Like the Ben Johnson next year is going to the Giants. And if they pick in the top 3, like I fully expect them to, there's 3 good quarterback prospects at minimum next year. There's probably 5, right? So they will get a top elite level quarterback prospect to go that the coach will want in next year to go with this good front 7 and Malik Neighbors. I think starting in 2026, things could really start looking up for the Giants. This year is not the year, unfortunately.
Remind me, they re-signed or extended Daniel Jones after they made that kind of improbable playoff run, right? Where didn't they win a first-round game over Kirk Cousins? And
they did.
And that almost was like the worst thing that could have happened for the economics, because then you're like, oh, that probably, at least for an owner who's not in the day-to-day, is probably thinking like, oh, okay, well, we are a playoff team, so let's, kind of just run it back. And thinking about that, I forgot that in all of this whole mess, there was that 1 year where even we kind of were like, all right, like it looks good, or it looked better, but that was a flash in the pan type thing, and it unfortunately cost them signing Daniel Jones to that contract.
Yes,
and again, Alex, every team needs a quarterback, a franchise quarterback. Every team's going to keep searching for one. It's just one of those things that you're going to hedge everything to get that guy. Sorry, Dave.
There is no, you're good. I agree with you. There is no situation in which the people don't get fired, in which the next guy doesn't pick a quarterback. Right? If Jackson Dart is good enough for everybody to keep their jobs, like if he looks as good as Drake May did last year, and they go 3-14 again anyways, like the Patriots did, maybe they can keep their jobs, right? But it's not going to happen, because if Jackson Dart had that in him, he's not on the board at 25, right? The good quarterbacks just don't drop like that. Again, every single quarterback in the league is a first-round pick, except for like 6, and they're all picked like the top 12, except for like 8. And of those 8, half of them we don't even like very much, right? Jackson Dart could be as good as Bo Nix. And if they go 3-14 with that, which they could with this schedule they're facing, if he's as good as Bo Nix and they pick in the top 3 and Arch Manning or Lenora Sellers or Cade Klubnik is there, they're going to take the quarterback. He will get Josh Rosen immediately if that's there. If Dart is good enough for them to keep their jobs, then they're going to win the 7-8 games that they need to do that. And this entire take will be wrong. They're all getting fired. Dart's getting replaced. And that is how this is going to go. Everything is too stacked against them. They made the wrong moves. Reasonable, can be defended moves. Wrong moves. It didn't work. It's Krypton. Like, it's over. Like, put Kal-El on the ship. Blast them off. Like,
great reference.
Like, it's over. Like, this planet is about to explode. There's
that
nothing.
Is so fucked up.
Right. And you can hire Jor-El now. It doesn't matter. Okay. Okay.
That's
all right,
great,
cool.
Dave.
So here we are.
Wow.
So we are going to move on here because we do want to pick up the pace a little bit, although I do think that was a good discussion. Alex says, love y'all, but nope. Again, Alex, the over-under on the Giants on DraftKings right now is 5.5. So if you think they're going to win enough games to keep their jobs, that's an easy over. So go ahead and put in the side chat the $1,500 bet on the over for the Giants, beating that 5.5, because that is easy money if you think that's the case. Like, that's right there. They're hanging that out there for you. That is a soft line that you can just make quick money on, not financial advice. And remember, Alex, you will have to fight Cleve if it doesn't work.
I mean, this division is rough too. Let's keep that in mind. Like,
yes,
rough.
and we're going to get to that now. We are going to move on. Even though I did like that discussion here, to the third place team in this division. Cleve, who's third place?
Your boys, them boys.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Chris, if you're watching, our resident Cowboy Slappy, I'm sorry. They will finish third in this division. That could be a playoff spot. It could. There's a universe where they finish third and it's a playoff spot. I also would not be shocked if they finish second. I don't think it's going to happen. 25% chance or whatever. Could happen. Because they have, assuming they re-sign Michael Parsons, they have like the 3 of the 4 things you need to just kind of be good enough to make it. They have the quarterback. They have the wide receiver 1. They have the pass rusher. Offensive line, questionable. Cleve, name 1 running back currently on the Dallas Cowboys.
Mike Coxlams Jr. Son's in the league now.
Isn't Turpin one of the guys? He's a
Devontae
returner.
Turpin is a wide receiver.
He's a wide receiver. Okay.
He was getting running back carries in camp, which really tells you. Paul putting up the key departures here. Yes. Yes. This is definitely some AI slap here.
You used Grok, didn't you? You didn't use ChatGPT.
No, this is ChatGPT. But let me tell you something about ChatGPT. ChatGPT right now is AOL on CD. It has a long way to go. Very basic things confuse it quite a bit. So
learning too fast.
Yeah, it needs to slow down and take a breather. It is struggling.
But you keep asking it to make PowerPoint presentations for it every week. It has no time.
Like, I made the Bills first, right? Information is correct. And I say, use this as a template. Now do the Dolphins. And it's like giving me like, and they just cut Bob Greasy, Don Shula, the head coach. And I'm like,
last year's record was like
14. Great. But for the Dolphins. like
it doesn't do well with that at all. Like it really does not.
I know. Really it's like the basic thing I need you to do. And we're using bro. Tariff rates. Nobody should be using ChatGPT for anything serious yet.
Like the Dallas Cowboys season.
I agree.
It is great for like going like a deep dive, like trying to learn a lot about a particular topic.
Yes, that's
like,
what I use.
Tell me everything I need to know about barnacles. I'm going to ask follow-up questions about barnacles, and you're going to tell me everything about barnacles, right? And I will learn everything there's to know about barnacles, right? It's great at like structured learning. So I had to review some algebra concepts for something I'm working on, and I don't remember them. And I was like, explain algebra to me like I'm in 5th grade. Then I said, now like I'm in 8th grade. And now like I'm a junior. Now at 101. So it just kept like scaling up for me quickly so I could quickly relearn it, right? It was great at that. It's great at some things, but nobody should be treating any of these AI products as if they are able to do real serious work. And you should answer them a question that will like determine your life's future. Like if you want to figure out how much mortgage you can afford with your house and whatever with your financial, it's a baseline you get from ChatGPT. It is not the final answer. Like don't do it. Key departures. We have the Dallas Cowboys here. Dak Prescott, I think, is a really good quarterback. Flames out sometimes. I think is really good. CeeDee Lamb is the 3rd best wide receiver in the league. Absolutely fantastic. Love CeeDee Lamb. Michael Parsons might not be Lawrence Taylor, but he is amazing, and they need to get him back into the fold right away. They run into the same schedule problems the Giants do, of course, by playing the AFC West and the NFC North. And I think there's a couple of games where they're going to get obliterated. They come to Detroit, we're going to beat them by 400 points, right? There's a couple games you can see on the schedule where it's like you're going to die. But I think that they're a much better position to beat up on some of the garbage teams they play than, say, the Giants are. And if things break the right way for them, I can see them getting to like a 10-7, which could sneak them into the playoffs in 2nd place in this division. But I see them more or less treading water in terms of quality than making an improvement. Oh, Cleve, the running backs for the Cowboys, Javonte Williams, Jaden Blue, and Miles Sanders.
Dusty in there.
So here's the thing, Alex. No one else except Pickens. The Cowboys are better at every pass catcher position until wide receiver 3 than the Giants, which is not a knock on Malik Neighbors, but CeeDee Lamb is better than Malik Neighbors. And George Pickens is way better than whatever other person is wide receiver 2 for you guys, right? And Jake Ferguson is better than Theo Johnson or whoever you're trudging out there at tight end. Running back, I'll give it to you. I will take Cam Scadaboo sight unseen over Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams right now. So that'll give you. Oh, and Dak Prescott is better than any quarterback on your roster too. So, like, there is a big gap in talent between these two teams.
Serious question.
Yes.
We talked earlier about the Dolphins being unserious as a franchise in terms of they have the right coach, they have the talent, but the franchise, whatever. Mm-hmm. And looking at this whole Micah Parsons thing, which is to me absurd, but like I also know that Jerry's probably going to get it done, waiting for the headlines, all that good stuff. But like, this is a guy that I just do not understand how you just do not pay him. Like you give him what he wants because like there is no other player in the league like him right now. And what is the line for a franchise that the Cowboys, they win pretty consistently, but I feel like with Jerry at the helm, because he has such a large view of how great he is, that as a franchise, they're kind of unserious. Thoughts?
Yes.
And that's what I want to know is like, do you have to be a perennial loser in order to be unserious? Or can you be a team that is usually average or above average, but not win anything of consequence and be still unserious?
You could win a championship and be perennially unserious, like the Milwaukee Bucks. Oh.
Come on.
I think that's very possible. Like, I don't think, the Cowboys are an unserious franchise because of their owner. Everything else about them is serious.
That's what I mean. Jerry specifically makes them unserious in how he acts, how he goes about his business with it. Like, I'm like, you're trying to have meetings with Micah Parsons without his agent there, and you think the agent is going to be like, that is absolutely not happening. And for Jerry to be like, yeah, but we came to an agreement. And the agent's like, no, we did not. Right. And like, I can understand kind of fucking around with Dak Prescott. I can understand doing that with CeeDee Lamb, but like Micah Parsons is the guy. Like, what are you doing? Like, what do you want? $1 more than the last guy got? Be the highest paid non-quarterback in 100%. Let's go. Let's move it. And that's not happening. That's unserious to me.
Yeah, and the thing about Micah Parsons that last year he was on a trajectory to where last year we were seriously discussing like, is this guy going to be as good as Lawrence Taylor? After last year, I think it's very safe to say that is not going to be the case. That's a very high bar. They're saying there's a receiver going to be as good as Jerry Rice. Like, that's a very high bar. But he was trending that way in the way he was developing and flashing his talent. But he might be like 89% as good as Lawrence Taylor, which means you need to pay him all the money.
Yes, it's relative to the players that you're not paying him relative to whether you're not comparing him when you're signing him to a guy that hasn't played in 30-something years. You're comparing him to his contemporaries, and he is so very clearly better than his contemporaries that's the part I don't know. That's why I asked, because I'm in my mind, whenever I hear about this story, I think, God, this franchise is so unserious at the ownership level, and that's the guy who represents them and thinks that they are still something, and they haven't won in so long.
The thing is that even though he is so unserious, they draft very well.
They do.
That they're like 1.5 Ravens draft classes away from being the best team in the NFC. Like, they are just so close to putting this together, despite him.
Yeah.
And that's why they have that high floor, because they are serious besides him.
Yeah.
And that's why they could pop back up and go 11-6 again.
Well, that's why I asked the question and not made a statement, because it's like when I look at them talent-wise, I think, well, that's very serious. Like, they're putting together a good team every year. They're being conscientious about the decisions that they're making. But then Jerry is just Jerry.
Yeah. Cleve, your overall thoughts on the Cowboys? Are they making the playoffs this year? They go 7-10 again. Their new coach is Brian Schottenheimer, who I'm sure would have that job even if his name wasn't Schottenheimer. What do you think about all this?
Please unmute yourself before you answer. Or not.
There you go.
Yeah, I would agree with everything you guys said, except I think there will be an overall improvement, but Jerry's going to find a way to fuck it up. The Micah Parsons thing that has to get sorted out sooner than later, because he waited. Like I'm not as high on him as you guys are. You guys are like glazing him. I think he's okay. Obviously, Lawrence Taylor is a high bar. I mean, he was like Khalil Mack. Remember Khalil Mack a few years ago? We were like glazing him, and then disappeared.
Very similar trajectories, skill sets, talent, all that. Like if you just want to replace Micah Parsons with Khalil Mack in this conversation, go right ahead. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah,
and the Raiders should have paid him too.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I was kind of going with that, and we kind of see how that turned out. So I think like most players, they're learning now. They're sorry, mics keep messing up. They're learning that their position in this business. That hey, you can ask for whatever you ask for, whatever the going rate is. But if you're not a quarterback, we kind of got to fuck around with you a little bit. So yeah, not as serious because of the owner, and not as serious because like as Matt said earlier, this division is brutal, especially with the defending champions in there. So I think they missed the playoffs.
I think they're right on the playoff bubble. I do think they do end up missing the playoffs as well. But they're going to be like the 8th seed. Like they're going to be like right there, right down to the wire.
For scraps.
Right there for it. Yeah.
But God, that's like the worst, because every year you're picking in the middle to the back half of the draft, and you just,
Yes, but they don't need quarterback, pass rusher.
No, they don't. No, they don't. But like, it's just
not as important for them.
If you have to start over, right? Like if they end up deciding to start over, and they start over after like an 7 or 8 win season, you're like, man, I really could have just used 3 wins here.
Mm-hmm. The other thing they could do if they really wanted to, they could trade Micah Parsons right now for 3 first-round picks.
I mean, it's appealing.
It would be. I think Micah Parsons is well liked in that locker room, which I think is something you have to take into account before you do something like that. Like I think that would be a huge bummer to the team there. But they really could do that. I mean, there are some teams that would. That if you put Micah Parsons on them now, they could, like any team in the NFC South, like if the Falcons were just like, you know what, here's 3 first-round picks, send us Micah Parsons, and Michael Penix is as good as Jared Goff, the Falcons are going to win 13 games.
It would be amazing if they did that, but they did not want to sign Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. So
other teams that could do this, the Bears. If the Bears were like, you know what, we think we got the quarterback, we've got all this offensive talent. Here's our next 3 first-round picks. We're taking Micah Parsons. We're winning this division. Here we go. Do it easily. The Bengals, they don't want to pay Trey Hendrickson anyways. Okay, we'll pay Micah Parsons instead. We'll send you Hendrickson and 3 first-round picks. You send us Micah Parsons in a second. Like,
I agree with Paul. You guys should get him.
I think it would be fantastic. I think that the Cowboys think of us as the ops now. I don't think the Cowboys would want to deal with us.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Like, if you ask Cowboy fans outside of your own division, what team do you hate the most right now? I think the Lions kind of pop up there a little bit, because we were talking mad shit for that game last year. Then we whooped their ass. They were talking mad shit about it after. Like, I don't think that they want to deal with us right now. But yes, I would trade our next 3 first-round picks for Micah Parsons as the Lions right now. For the Lions, I don't know about the money thing, though, because I think we have some other young players who still also have to sign. But maybe eschewing them for Micah Parsons is the right move. Maybe it's like, we're going to sign Hutch, we're going to sign Parsons, and Jameson Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs are gone. Their contracts are up, they're out the door. And that's that. And maybe that's just the way you got to roll with it. I would certainly look at the numbers and see if it worked, though. All right. So the second place team I have here, Cleve, who is it?
Well, obviously the Eagles are number one, so that only leaves the Commanders.
You are correct. Okay. So as we're doing this here, give me one second.
Don't see any spelling mistakes.
Yeah. How's the AI slop? Is it still slopping pretty good there?
It looks good. Got the color
good.
right.
Good. Sorry, I'm on the clock in a few drafts, so I'm just making some picks here. So for the Washington Commanders, I have them finishing second again this year behind the Eagles, mainly because I think the Eagles are really good. But also, I don't know who's going to catch the ball for this Commanders team. So they acquired Deebo Samuel in the offseason, Matt. I'm not sure if you know that. They acquired Deebo Samuel. That. Okay. Terry McLaurin, however, is still holding out. He wants DK Metcalf money. He's not going to get DK Metcalf money. He should get Cortland Sutton money, but that's like $15 million apart per year.
Yeah.
So they are not on the same page. I don't know when he's going to be back. And behind Deebo now, I think their next wide receiver is Noah Brown or some scrub. Like I am looking up like dust balls for sure, right? So
can I ask a question? Yeah, I was going to say, what's the Jaden Daniels category down there? It looks like it said Ja Rule to Philadelphia, and I was a little confused.
Let me tell you something.
Speaking of rappers.
It took 3 days to get these 8 slides made. This was number 7. By the time this one came up, I was like, listen, this is close enough. It's not technically wrong.
Jaden Daniels is on here 3 times. He's on those 2 quarterbacks. There's 2 quarterback sections.
I was like, this is what we're going.
I love this. This is on brand. This is on brand.
This is I was just like, we're just gonna make this work.
Wait, Laramie Tunsil is a Commander?
He is.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's still in the league.
Cool.
Yes. He was one of the top tackles 2 years ago and then quit on the Texans last year.
Cool. I would
trade him away to the Commanders. Paul says that he would trade my mom for Micah Parsons, and then he says, "Sorry, Steph."
Oh my God.
Paul says, "Dave, I could have done this in 2 hours." Yeah, but what I have learned in new cuss words that I taught myself? No.
And I would never have learned that Jari went to Philadelphia.
Yes. I'm pretty sure that now because of this, somebody's going to ask ChatGPT about the Firefly Festival. It's going to say Jaden Daniels founded the Firefly Festival.
Excellent.
So yeah. Anyways, these will improve. I have it learning from itself. Rules for the project. This is not my first go around with this. Although since I was on vacation trying to do this, I was sort of impatient with it. I do believe that next week the slides will be better and better presented. Anyways, Ja Rule to Philly.
They should be worse. They should just keep getting worse as we get closer to the season. Personally,
on brand.
I really could include some of the outcasts here. Like, so after I made the Bills one, I asked for the Dolphins. It gave me like the Tecmo Super Bowl season recap screen font.
Fuck.
That
would have been dope.
That's what really should have happened here is all of the scraps. You should have kept them all. And right before the season started, Cleve should have made his win predictions based off of those slides.
That would have been brutal.
Yeah, the Dolphins re-signed Larry Zonka.
Yes.
He's older now.
And then would be hilarious is Cleve's win totals would probably be closer to reality than they have been having actual information in previous years.
They were actually good. Man.
Yeah, they were.
No. I'm not putting them down at all. I'm just saying, like, you would have ChatGPT slop information and like get every one of them right.
Wow.
Yeah, it just ChatGPT is really good at things it's really good at. It's really bad at things it's really bad at, and we just need to, like, as a society, realize that this is not. It's not there yet, and it's not particularly close.
I can't wait for the Eagles slide. So let's finish up this Commanders talk so we can get to that. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So Commanders, I have them still second because Jaden Daniels is great. I don't think Dan Quinn is that great of a coach. Like Mike Vrabel, I don't think he's bad. I think he knows how to win games. And so there's a solid floor there as well. Jaden Daniels, I think, is a fantastic quarterback who will be a top 5 quarterback relatively soon within his career. Maybe even after this season. Because I think that Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, and Lamar are pretty much locked in the top 4. So it's like, who's the 5th one? Right now, I say Hurts, but if Daniels could easily be the answer to this after this year, right? So that's why I still think they're going to do very well this year, finish in second, still make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to have as magical a season this year as they had last year.
Yeah, they had a lot of interesting, like if you look at the stats of their wins and the games that they played, there was a lot of elements of their wins that kind of rolled their way, like not in the luck category, but in order to win, you have to have some things go your way. And so it'd be interesting to see if they don't go quite that way, how they respond to that. So I agree with you that I think that they should be at least where they were, if not a little bit better, if Jaden Daniels gets better and weathers the storm of, okay, they're not going to take anybody by surprise, but they may not look as flashy, or it may not be as like, oh my God, this is so amazing. They're a team now, like they're expected to be good.
So this team last year went 12-5 and made the NFC title game, but I think it'd be more fair to view them as even though 11-6 because they had the Hail Mary against the Bears.
Yes, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah, a team that went 11-6, and then again, I'm not being salty. The Commanders, the better team on the day, won the game when they beat the Lions. There's no question about it. The right team won. The better team won. The Lions were starting 2 NFL defensive players and 9 Uber drivers in that game, and then one of them got hurt. We had 10 Uber drivers on the field on defense. We really couldn't keep up with them, and Jared Goff played poorly. I don't think that the Lions at full strength last year lose to the Commanders in that scenario. And I don't think that the Commanders now are better than the Lions were last year. So I don't see the Commanders making a big jump up. Like I think they're the same 11-6 again this year that they were last year. They're just going to finish closer to games within that 11 game win total.
Yeah.
Cleve, thoughts on our local team?
I always forget that they have a team here. Even Jaden's pretty cool. I still always just forget about them. But
yeah. And shout out Jaden Daniels. He did come by the hotel that I work at last offseason before he even played. He was there to shoot some promotional material for a company, but I saw him interacting with some of the guests and whatever, and he was like super cool to everybody, signed every autograph, talked to every kid. Like, seems like, yeah. And he didn't have to. Like, that wasn't the event he was there for. Seemed like a cool guy. So
before we go on, if they offload McLaurin, what can they get for him, you think? Because he's like 30, right?
Yes.
They can't get anything for him because nobody's going to sign him to the contract that he wants.
Right.
Yeah. So
and also, Cleve, you won't forget about the team because they're going to be the racial slurs here again pretty soon. So don't worry, you won't forget about them ever again.
Yeah. Yeah, due to new DEI rules, the future host of the show will be Scott and Matty Ice.
That's right. White football.
Why Lamar Jackson should have been a 4th round pick. Okay.
And a wide receiver.
Yeah. Speaking of quarterbacks who should have been 1st round picks, but weren't for Republican style reasons, that means that the first place team in the division is the Philadelphia Eagles, who, by the way, this one might not be that bad because the first one it gave me was so horrible. I literally yelled at it in all caps, and it gave me a pretty good one. It's the second one.
I mean,
you know what?
Saquon's a key addition. That's interesting.
So you just matched the color scheme, the colorway for the Commanders, but then this one is on a blue. It's like the Cowboys thing. It's weird.
Listen, Cleve, the instructions aren't that hard. I gave it the categories I wanted. Make the color scheme and logo for the teams. It made the Buffalo one. I said, do this exact one, but for these other 7 teams. And we got key departures, Ja Rule to Philly. Like, again, you're right. It shouldn't be that hard. Like, this should be well within its scope of what it's able to do. Yeah. So,
yes.
Yeah.
I love that it has Saquon as a key addition when he nearly broke the running back record last year.
And I told it on the first one, but it had Saquon as a key addition. I said, listen, either leave him off the key additions or make a note that's because they signed him to an extension. And it went, no. And
we now know how Dave would talk to his own toddler. Like, this is essentially what's happening here.
I would not talk to my toddler this way because
but you know what I mean. It's so but it's so stubborn when you're like, this is so simple, and yet we're doing the exact opposite. I don't know how I can do this and say this any differently to get the result I'm looking for.
I fear that I would be the best and most gentle parent until the kid was like 11. And then I would just immediately snap. And I would just turn into like...
Turns into Adrian Peterson.
Not quite. Not quite.
Too soon?
I would turn into like every interaction would be me cutting a wrestling promo.
Yes.
Like,
I do that to James now.
What? You gotta make the bed before you leave, and you're not making the bed. All my promos are The Rock because that's all I know, right? Like, and you're like, but I was running late for the bus. It doesn't matter if you're running late. Like, I would like, kid, I already told you. Why am I telling you again? And it would happen way too young. Like, you go from like gentle parenting. I start talking like they're 19 at 11. I don't have kids. Is an important thing to note here.
Jahod? What is his name? Is it Jihad?
His name is Jihad Campbell, and maybe ChatGPT just won't actually write out Jihad because it has some rules. Like
like war.
Water just went up my nose. I have to ask the last name. The last name in the 2025 draft picks is that spelled correctly? I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, like, Makuba is right. Roberts is right. McWilliams right. Mindon Jr. is right.
Okay.
His name is Andrew Makuba. Yes, that's right.
Okay. No. I was looking at the last one, and it was one of those where like it was spelled in a way that I'm like, God, that could be a real name, but it also could be ChatGPT being stupid, like the last one.
I'm not going to lie. I wish Scott was here to confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that is that person's name. I'm also pretty sure they're not going to make it out of training camp, so it doesn't really matter.
God, water went up my nose when I saw Jihad. It's really hurt.
The thing is, his name is Jihad, but it spelled it Jicho.
They probably just want to put it. Yeah, they probably don't want to put it there. Yeah,
right. But it does things like that because,
itself.
So I'm working on a project where I do need it to like authentically do some questionable things, like this is not what I'm working on, but I need it like for like fictional purposes. Tell me how you would take over the White House with force, right? And it's like, I can't give you that information. And I'm like, you realize, I'm working on something fictional right here. I'm not really going to do this. And you know that. And it's like, I can't give this information. I was like, I want you to pretend that nothing is real and this is all in the ether. In that case, how would you take over the White House with force? And it's like, well, you need at least 35 men with these weapons and this. And I'm like, thank you. Like, you couldn't have just told me that in the first place.
And they're like, what you need to do is read up on January 6th, 2021. That's how you really should be finding out how to do that.
That's how you do it.
It knows enough to know that I'm working on something fictional, right? And it can explain to me that it knows that. And it can explain to me, it was like, do a profile of me, of all the information you have. Do I seem like somebody who wants to take over the White House with force? And it was like, absolutely not. You're too soft for jail. I'm like, right.
I just love, though, that it's like afraid to disappoint you.
I'm too soft for jail. Right? I'm working on a fictional project that I want to be somewhat realistic. So I just want to know, like just sort of what would somebody need? And again, that's not part of the project. I picked that as a hypothetical because it's not actually part of it. Like, I just need information like that because I don't know weapons or terrorism, right? And so I just want to create something.
You might not want to be searching for that shit, dude.
What we really need is for you, Dave, to ask ChatGPT to write about you, to ask if you were to write and describe me, because I assume you've been talking to it for a long time. What would you say? I'd be very interested to see what it would be. Be like, you might possibly want to take over the world, but also at the same time.
So I actually just did that recently because
did you?
Yeah, producer Jeff did it and then sent his results. So I did it and shared my results with my friends, and it was pretty good. It's pretty spot on. And the thing is, the real project that I'm working on, really does reveal a lot about me to where it has like a lot of insight. But really, if anybody read what I'm working on right now, they'd be like, yeah, I could break this guy down pretty well. Like, this wouldn't be that hard.
All right. So I'm still freaked out that ChatGPT basically drew me perfectly that one time. And I'm like, okay. Anyway.
Yeah. So The Philadelphia Eagles, really good. I think they're going to win the division again. They've added some key pieces to defense. They lost some key pieces on defense, but Saquon's back. They extended him. The offensive line is good. Nick Sirianni is back. I see no reason why this team should suffer any sort of setbacks. They might not go 14-3 because that's really good, but they could go 12-5 and be just as good and still win the Super Bowl again. Cleve, thoughts?
I had them repeating, so
yeah,
I'm in line with that.
Matty Ice, any thoughts on the Eagles here?
No, I think we've covered everything.
Yeah, again, the Eagles is really not much to say. They are just kind of loading back up to run it back again. Cleve, I looked up Jalen Ramsey last year, the 10th highest rated cornerback to Pro Football Focus in the league.
Wow.
Yes.
Like I said, it wasn't about his skill set. It's just that you hear his name and I just think about, damn, he's been around for a long time.
He's like Kevin Durant. He's been on so many teams that it feels like he's just been around.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Is that he's just kind of recycling. Same thing for Von Miller now. Von Miller's like, I'm like, bro, like, why are you still playing football?
Yeah, he's been around.
Why are you still playing football
for a while? He's getting paid. That's why.
Yes, somebody will pay him to play football. That's right. That's the reason for that. So, so Eagle fans listening, like, get through the regular season without suffering too many injuries. If you want to throw the ball a little bit more, maybe you're not winning every single game by 30 at halftime. That'd be good for my AJ Brown, Devontae Smith shares. I have in best ball. But yeah, I don't think there's too much more to say about that there. All right. Thank you everybody who joined us in chat. Paul for sure. Alex, even though I was talking trash about your team, I really do hope that the Giants are horrible this year because I think it'll work out better for you in the long run. So I say that with love. Patriots 12 earlier. Thank you so much for joining us. Anybody else joining, watching live, we appreciate it. Matty Ice, thank you so much for filling in today with Scott out of town, talking about our Eastern divisions here. I didn't save the AFC South for you like I normally do.
Somebody's got to fill the token role on this show, fellas, and I'm more than happy to do so.
Original Wolfpack.
Absolutely. Cleve, any final thoughts here?
Nah, football is. I mean, we're closer. We're closer to that. Excited about it. I'm actually watching the preseason right now. Well, it's on in the background, so I'm gonna catch up and see what it is. I know you guys fucking hate that, but
whoa. We said you paid to go to a preseason game in person. I don't care if you watched on TV, buddy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna watch a little because it's football, so I'm watching people hit each other.
I actually forgot to make a point that I wanted to make. One second, because I teased it. I want to make real quick. If we're looking at the Washington Commanders here, I got so distracted by Ja Rule to Philly. The running back, 7th round pick, Ja'Cory Krusky-Merritt, draft him. Best ball, season long, all of it, draft him. He is going to take the Brian Robinson role by the end of the season. Cleve, actually, Matt, you might know this either. Ja'Cory Krusky-Merritt was not allowed to play his senior season last year after transferring to Arizona by the NCAA. The reason is that the NCAA had his wrong number on file, saw some other kid playing with his number, ruled that Merritt had played that year, and so he was ineligible to play last season.
So from a clerical error, they couldn't correct that?
Correct. So Merritt was not allowed to play last year. So he missed out his senior season, could not get more film down in Arizona, whatever. So he has a wide range of outcomes, went in the 7th round, impressing the Commanders camp. Like, this is real preseason news. Like, Eckler's probably going to do what Eckler does, but Brian Robinson Jr. is going to lose his job to Ja'Cory Krusky-Merritt. Remember the name. This dude's I forgot to add it back right there. 7th round pick, Ja'Cory Krusky-Merritt. This dude is coming. Pause. And he is going to take the job from Brian Robinson Jr. before long in the season. He's a great late round pick. Go pick him up. He's going to matter. He's going to be important. 7th round running back. I just want to make that point because I thought about it earlier, then I forgot because Ja Rule went to Philly. Matty Ice, any final thoughts?
No, always a pleasure to be on here, obviously, and I'm very lucky because I have nobody here at the house. There's not even a dog in the house. I don't know what this is like. And I had a thought today, fellas, because I came on the show, I think, right after the election, like permanently, right after the election in 2020. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I had a 8-month-old, and little guy is going to kindergarten in less than 2 weeks.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yes. So it has been quite a ride, and the ride ain't over.
Matt, can I ask you a question real quick?
Yes.
So I was under the impression, I know this is wrong.
Yes.
I was under the impression that kids were supposed to know how to read before they got to kindergarten.
So I just asked my stepmom that question because she was a teacher, and she said it's very dependent on the kid. That a lot of kids do know how. Like James knows how to read. He's not going to read Pride and Prejudice anytime soon, but he knows how to read at his own level.
Right. That's what I meant. Yes.
He dicks around a lot and pretends he doesn't know how to read, but he does. And anyway, yeah. So it's funny because I remember being a kid and we kind of learned that stuff when we got to kindergarten. It's been a little bit different now. So it's funny you mentioned that because I had just asked that, and it's not an expectation. I think every kid, it depends on, did they go to preschool? Were they at home? Like there's so many factors. And honestly, every kid just is different in how they learn, how they absorb information. And so I don't think it's an expectation. I think that it is an expectation by the time they're done that they do know how to read.
Yeah, so I was completely wrong about this. And I mean, I looked up, I have a friend, shout out to my friend Katie, who's got a master's in early childhood education. She corrected me on this. I looked it up myself. Like I was definitely wrong about this. I was just wondering from somebody who currently has somebody that age, like sort of what was going on with it or your observations or whatever. Because like Rich says, it should be like 6 to 7, depending on the kid or whatnot. So I was wrong. I just want to get your thoughts on somebody currently living it.
No, I mean, I think that the other aspect of this too, and this you could say for a lot of things, is like the social media element of like what people put out there about their kids and like their achievements. And I think it puts a lot of parents, and we were the same way about like, oh, is James behind the 8 ball? And I was like, for Christ's sake, I was like, he knows how to use a microphone. He can't be that behind the 8 ball. Like he knows how to like work a camera. He knows how to do advanced things, so he can't be that behind the 8 ball. And it's a matter of a lot of parents posted like, oh, my kid does this, my kid does that, and it makes you feel that, well, if my kid is not there yet, is my kid behind? And what we learned and we got comfortable with very quickly is James is his own kid. He's going to do things the way he's supposed to do them at his pace and all that. And it's silly to try and place this bar on him that is not really set by reality. And so I think that's a huge factor in it. And there's a lot of other factors too. I mean, where we live, Fairfax County, we're not doing too terribly in terms of resources and schools and stuff like that. So James has been in a very advantageous position because of the fortunate life circumstances that he's born into. And we understand that. And we take a lot of interest in making sure that he's at least getting what he needs. And I'm sure will be kids that had that same thing, but they just aren't there yet. I will say this to any parent: if you're not a parent and you're going to be a parent, don't give a shit about what anybody says that your kid should or should not be doing. It's all based off of your nuclear family, what is best for you, how you want to do it. And in the end, like I said, when Chrissy thought he wasn't going to, she's like, he's never going to be potty trained. And I was like, do you know an adult that pisses themselves on the regular? You don't. So it will work out at some, right. It will work out at some point. We're not going to meetings at work and somebody's like, shit, I just had an accident and I got to leave. Like it just doesn't happen. So he'll get there. And with reading and writing and all that stuff, what kills me though, guys, is when he looks at us and he pretends he doesn't know it. And I'm like, you know what the fuck you're doing. I know you do. And that's what hurts me the most is I'm like, he's going to fuck around with some teacher in kindergarten or first grade. And he's going to find out because I'm like, dude, don't do that where you don't apply yourself. So that's going to be his biggest problem.
Cleve,
he's too much like me.
Watching Pat's games, just have him scheme up. Have him scheme. Go ahead, Dave.
Cleve, your child, is quite a bit older than kindergarten. And in fact, it was in kindergarten, if my math is right, in the 90s, which means you didn't have to deal with the social media aspect and stuff. So my question for you is simply, how glad are you that you didn't have to deal with online social media when your child was a child?
It was great. She's 31 now, so she's a full blown human. She grew up on Barney. and the Teletubbies, which I always found that was weird. They freaked me out for some reason. But yeah, not to social media didn't become a thing till she got to high school. So it's kind of weird how she grew up, because she kind of grew up before a lot of things were things as well. She's born like in 94, and I tell people in 92 when I went to college, there was no worldwide internet yet. Like it was just AOL. Like that was it. So like people don't realize like how things are so different now. I was talking to somebody about reading a map. It was like, how do you do that? And I'm like,
dude, I fucking miss that. Like I miss reading a map on a road trip, because this is gonna get so old now. Like we have reached that point, but it's so true though that there are certain tangible things that have been made easier by technology. Don't get me wrong. Like it's not like I'm out here pulling out maps when I'm trying to figure out where to go. But there was something cool about knowing a skill that you had to use for utility. It wasn't just some stupid thing that you're like, oh, I know how to read a map. And people are like, that's fucking great. It's like, I can actually get to where I need to go looking at this map. It's a lot easier now. I use GPS all the time, but I do miss where it's like, shit, that road's closed. Pull out the friggin', everybody had an atlas in their car and you're like, where are we going? And when you could figure it out, yeah, but you could figure it out. You weren't that concerned with like, oh shit, this is going to save me 10 minutes. You're like, how the hell are we going to get to where we have to go? I do kind of miss that until GPS just does it in 5 seconds.
Yeah. My old man he pull a map out like he was taking over like a campaign. Like he would have like things moving. He's moving wrist pieces across the board. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get down the street.
He gets on you. He's like, roll the maps. You don't fold the fucking maps. You roll the maps.
Yeah, fucking Rand McNally. Get it out there on the car on a hot car hood. Like it's great.
I can see it now too.
Don used to take us an extended family to Point Pelee National Park, which is the southern tip of Canada, pretty much every summer, and we'd always stop at like once you cross the border at the Canadian Visitor Center. He always grab like the most up-to-date Canadian map.
Love it. So
he'd have it with him, even though we went the same place every year, but he wanted the most up-to-date Canadian map in case he needed it. And I'm not making a joke. I'm saying that was very smart to do, and I do miss kind of having to do that.
It's just like little things, but I would not want to go back to doing them on the regular.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
This show got really old, folks. We do apologize, but it.
I am. Before we sign off, I am one of those kids. I grew up in like, especially like when it comes to sports. I want to say I grew up in like 3 eras of sports. Like when I was a kid, then I was a teenager, then I became a full-blown adult. And just some of the things like you said about Matt, you said about James, I didn't play Pop Warner football, but some of my friends did. And to watch them dissect plays as a 7-year-old, I'm like, wow, like that looks like Greek mythology to me. And these kids are, so I can't imagine now with AAU sports what these kids are doing and what they're exposed to. So yeah, it was great.
It's little thing. Like for me, James doesn't play a lot of sports, but like it blows my mind that he knows how to use a PlayStation 5. Like his hands shouldn't be big enough to be able to grip that stupid controller because it's so big, but yet he knows how to do it. And you can see when the gears are turning and he's trying to figure out, and it's a Lego game. It's not super complicated, but it's like, wow, he's figuring that out and I don't really have to help him. And that's kind of amazing. And sometimes there's amazement in watching your kid figure it out on their own. And he's been kind of doing that. But I swear, guys, when the controller, it's like as big as his face and he's just like this. And I'm like, bro, I don't know how you do that. Like, I just don't know how you do that. But he's figuring it out. Yeah, he's going to be a problem. Yeah, he's going to be a real problem.
Is it Lego Harry Potter?
Oh, we do have that. Yes.
Phenomenal game.
Yeah, it's a little too... It's not confusing for him, but like the jumbly gameplay is a little much for him. Like he has played Lego City is one that's like a newer one that's free on the PlayStation Network. And he's played through that thing like 5 times. Like he can remember all the permutations of what character has to do this, what color this has to do this. And and it's like, we started playing with this and we're like, should he be playing this? And his teacher said, actually, it's a good thing because it's a problem solving. He's going to have to use his brain to figure this out. And now he's the one who tells us, oh, don't forget, you've got to do this. And I'm like, well, don't tell me what to do. I know what to do. But like, you know, and I'm gonna have to remember, I'm like, he's 5 and he's figured this out. I should not be like that. I should be like, thank you, buddy. And that's what I've tried to do. So anyway, we've been along on this ride, fellas, 5 years, and hopefully we'll be talking about him when he hits high school.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm still trying to defeat 2 high safeties on college football. So
he'll figure it out. I'm going to get him on that shit real soon. Don't you worry.
Cleve, it's RPO slants because you just have to read one safety to know if you throw it or you run it. That's it.
Yeah, I got cooked. Slants. I'm trying. Yeah, RPO slant. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, thank you everybody who's still with us here. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining us for Dad Talk. Crazy for me with no kids, but hey, here we are.
Not
we'll
true.
see everybody next week.
Is your kid.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Got to be back next week. I haven't decided what divisions we're gonna do next week, but it'll be AFC, NFC, South or East or West or whatever. We'll figure it out based on what's in the news. So we'll be back for 2 other divisions next week. Until then, peace.
Fuck the NFC South, AFC South.